Hello and welcome to today's episode of Soul Strokes, the Tattoo Podcast. I'm your host, Alexa, alias Alexa Tattoo. If you like the previous episodes, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the follow button on Instagram. Thank you. Let's start. Hello, I'm super excited that you're here with me. Yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into the podcast because our guest is waiting to introduce herself. I would like you to say how long you're tattooing, your name, and what kind of tattoos you're doing.
Hello, my name is Daria. I'm tattooing for about 8 years now. I started in 2016. And the style, I would call it minimalistic, abstract, something like this.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I really love minimalistic tattoo myself. How are you and where are you at the moment? Because it's also pretty interesting for us to hear.
I'm in Istanbul right now. And I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited about the podcast, and I'm really, really happy that actually we made it through the settings and everything.
I'm excited too.
Yeah. And what are you doing in Istanbul? So you're working probably, but can you tell us a little bit about it, like the journey, how you got there? Are you alone? So a little bit about your life right now.
Okay, so in Istanbul, I'm not alone. I'm with my husband, and it's our second time to Istanbul. First, we came here like about 4 months ago in May, June, and it was also a very interesting story because we were planning to go to Europe for about like 6 months. We were planning this trip to Europe, and they didn't let us to Europe. So we were like stopped in the middle of our journey. So we had like one flight from Bali to Hong Kong and from Hong Kong to Amsterdam. And we flew out of Bali. But then in Hong Kong, like 5 minutes before the gate was closed, we were stopped by I think it was the airline or whatever, I don't know. Okay. And they just didn't let us on the plane.
Okay, that's weird. I mean, and do you know?
Yeah, and said that our visas are cancelled, so we can't go to Europe.
Okay, because I wanted to ask you the reason. You were saying that they didn't allow to enter the plane and you just stuck there. And how long? I mean, and how did you manage actually to come out from this position so that you could actually arrive at the end in Istanbul or Europe?
So we went back to Bali from Hong Kong, and then we planned like this trip to Istanbul, and I contacted all my customers and like suggested them that I'm paying for their tickets so they come to Istanbul, and I'm doing these tattoos for them. And actually quite a lot of them agreed. So I had like maybe 17 or 18 people coming, like last time. It was in May, in June. And this is our second time to Istanbul, so like this this scheme is working. So people coming from Europe, and we meet in Istanbul.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So basically you just, as I heard, that you are paying the tickets, the flight from your customers.
Yeah, but this only for the first time. Now I don't.
Okay. It was on the first time. Yeah. Okay, I see. So that's why you came back, I guess, to Istanbul because it was working pretty nice. And do you have like a studio where you're working at the moment, or?
Yes, I'm working.
Can you tell?
In a very beautiful studio. It's called Ink 11. This like this really beautiful place, and like the team here is also amazing.
Okay, and how did you find them?
I think I've asked some tattoo artists to recommend me some studios in Istanbul, so I don't remember, but I asked for help.
Okay, and I mean, I'm hearing on your accent and also from your name. I did a little bit of research about you that you are from Russia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I also had a Russian friend, so that's why I hear the accent. And how did you manage with your husband, or you were traveling before as well?
I was traveling before as well, and actually we live for 2 years now in Bali. So we travel.
Oh, nice. That's amazing. And what's your husband doing, actually, if I may ask? I mean, if I can ask the question.
Yeah, sure. For now, he's like trying to find himself, but he had like very amazing art space in Bali, and also it was a library. But unfortunately, we had to close it because some immigration rules. So he's now like in the creative searching, but he also writes very well, so maybe he will write something that you will hear of soon.
That's interesting. I mean, because I was like, I ask only because I also have a partner, and it's always difficult to arrange our lives together, because if like a person has like a normal job, like 9 to 5, it depends how they're working. And we are artists, and then we can just have like free schedule, and whenever we want to work, and we just take time off, so we are more flexible.
That's the best part of being an artist, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I also really like it, but of course, it's difficult when, for example, I say, okay, right now I would like to take time off and I want to go to travel. He needs to actually plan the holiday in advance. And I guess you also had these kind of things in Russia, or when you were, I mean, back then when you used to live there, and you needed to arrange the private life and the work life in a relationship. It's also not so easy.
For now, it's easy.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that he can just join you and then you're there. And did you plan working today, or you already worked?
No, today is a day off. And
A day off.
like, I had a lot of customers also coming here from Europe and also from US. I have one customer coming from US to Istanbul.
Nice.
So, and I've been working
That's
a lot, so today is day off.
Everyone needs a little bit of time off to recharge, so that's normal. After, I mean, so many days, I guess you were working every day. I wanted to ask you, since when you're in Istanbul, actually, I think I forgot to ask in the
When
beginning.
we arrived here, like on October 24th or 25th, something like this. I don't even remember. But we are here for about a month.
About a month. Okay, and what's the next stage, actually? I mean, where are you traveling next?
Stage is Asia, so we are going to where are we going? We are going to Singapore after Istanbul, and then to, I don't remember like the exact order, but to Hong Kong, to Japan, to Tokyo, maybe to Seoul, but I'm not sure yet because I don't have like any appointments yet, so I don't know.
Okay. And how you schedule your appointments? I mean, in different parts of the globe. So basically, if you have any advice for the artists who actually plan right now to go abroad and work, you are doing like promotion, like for example on social media, or you're trying to work with the studio together that they promote you when you're coming. Maybe.
So for now, unfortunately, like when studio posts something about you, I see that there is like no customers coming from the studio, and it happened like maybe several months ago. I don't know why. So for now, I'm like happily in that stage of my career that I just post something that I'm like going to Asia, I'm going to Istanbul, and then people text me. So I'm not doing any
Nice.
promotion right now.
Nice. And how did you reach this point in your life, like in your career? I mean, I guess it was a long way. Maybe you could tell us some insights, because I'm also trying to grow the account. And also, I think there's a lot of people having the same struggles, don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think like I'm like put a lot of money and like I don't know other like resources to my Instagram, but also I think I don't really know because everything like changes so quickly. So I did a lot of like promotions in the past. So also like I had some European studios also posted about my guest spots because I went to Europe. Like, well, last time I went to Europe, it was 2021 it was. So I think it's the mix of everything. And also I like started recording some reels and posting some reels, so I also had some some people came from these reels, so it's like
Okay.
it's a mix of everything. And also I've been like posting in this Instagram for quite a long time.
Do you know approximately how long time? I mean, since when you're using Instagram?
This account actually I created it when I wasn't a tattoo artist, so it was like something like 2013 13 or 14, something like this, and I started it with posting my like paintings, pictures that I draw, and then I started tattooing, and it became like a tattoo artist profile.
Okay. And that was back in Russia when I understood, because you said that 2 years ago, basically, you moved. And then how did you find actually tattooing? What your parents say about like your career path? How did you actually decided to be an artist? How did it look like for you?
Actually, I was drawing like for whole my life, so I may say that I've been an artist for my whole life. But then I became a tattoo artist very I don't know, quickly, very suddenly. So I was studying at the cinema university, and I'm like a camera woman. I don't know how to say it correctly. And so I didn't see myself as a camera woman for a while, and I liked taking some pictures, some portraits on the film camera, but that's it. And so one day suddenly I just thought that maybe, why not? Maybe I should try tattooing, and then I tried, and then that's it.
Okay, so it was like not that some TV show or some person just inspired you.
No, it just was some thought coming through my mind, and that was it.
Okay, but you discovered somehow the tattoo scene. I mean, because I'm also coming from a small town, and I didn't have any idea that actually being a tattoo artist is a thing, you know, that it's a job possibility, because I was like, I don't know, I was like 16, 17, and I didn't have any idea. Of course, there was a TV show from America I was watching, and I was always buying these old magazines and stuff. This is how I discovered that there's actually a tattoo scene existing. And for you, it was just really like your thought. You were like, okay,
Yes,
tattooing,
I
art.
I think so, because when I was drawing, it was like, maybe you know, like Russian social media. There were like a lot of communities there when artists posted their paintings, their pictures, and it was also mixed with the like tattooing, I think. Maybe
I
I
see.
saw some inspiration there, but I'm not sure. I just remember the
Okay.
thought came to my mind, and like the next day, I was quitting my job then, and then like grabbing the whole salary for the month and giving it to the tattoo studio to teach me.
So you had an apprenticeship, because I wanted also to ask how did you start?
Yeah.
So you went to the tattoo studio, and because that's an old traditional way. I mean, I know that recently there are also, of course, some courses, but I didn't hear in the recent times that there are like shops that they are doing apprenticeships. I mean, of course, the highly professional studios they have some apprenticeship, but I heard that, I mean, you know, also in COVID, there's a lot of people that just bought tattoo machines and they just started at home, you know, and then now they're tattoo artists, let's say. I mean, some of them may be pretty good. I don't know, but some of them are, it shouldn't happen, let's say. But that's cool. So you basically did it in a normal tattoo shop. Was it like a walk-in shop, or it was a custom studio, or how can you describe it?
I think it was a walk-in shop. I didn't like think about choosing, so I chose like the closest one to my home. So I wasn't like very I forgot the word, so whatever. I just chose the closest to my home, and then I just gave money to this tattoo artist, and he taught me how to hold the machine, everything. And then he suggested one studio that I should go to, and I went there and I started there.
Okay. And how long have you been in the first studio, where the closest studio to your home?
Studio, the one that I was teaching, like the artist that was teaching me, it wasn't long. It was like maybe several times. So we had like several days of teaching me, and then I went to another studio, and I stayed at that studio for about a year and a half, I think.
A year and a half. Okay. Okay. So probably the second studio was then more professional, right? Like that they could take you for a longer time.
Yeah.
Or
so yeah.
And what do you think with this experience, what you have, the studios were good enough to teach someone, or you wouldn't, I mean, with this head, what you have right now, this experience, you wouldn't go back there to learn? Or
I
you,
wouldn't.
or they
I
taught you
definitely
good?
wouldn't go back there to learn, because like looking back to it now, it's like very, like, studios of beginning of the 2000s. You know what I mean? These studios. So
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah.
very, very scary right now.
I mean, they're still open. I mean, they're still working.
I don't know.
You don't
Really. I
know.
don't
Okay.
know. I didn't
Okay.
check.
Okay. But you had like a good connection with all of these people, like the first teacher and the second. Are you
Actually,
still talking with
no,
them?
no. Actually, I don't have any connection. No.
Okay. Okay. And can you tell us how the apprenticeship looked like? I mean, you were just mentioning shortly that basically the first artist showed you how to hold the machine, but how did you start tattooing? Like for the people who actually right now on the learning curve, how it looked like in the 2000s, like it's 24 years ago, basically. I mean,
Oh my God, it
I mean,
was so.
not the
When you tell this,
when
it's
the
like it feels
yeah
so long ago.
when the studio opened. I wanted to just say that basically 7 years ago you started and the studio opened in 2000s. And I mean, what changed in these years approximately? What do you think? I mean, when you started and when the studio opened?
Many things changed. For now, it's like the process of tattooing became very, like, more easier, I can say. So back then it wasn't so easy with all these wires and all these like heavy machines. So for now it's definitely easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and for you, the learning phase. So you started to tattoo on
I
a fake
basically
skin.
like started very quickly on people, because the difference between like the fake skin and the real skin is like it's very big difference. So
It's obvious, yes.
and so I started very quickly to tattoo on people. That's how it went. So
I know I remember when I started, it was also like I started as you, like really fast on people. But I think I tried to tattoo on an orange or on a banana. I mean, it was nothing to do with tattooing, of course, but I was just so nervous to directly start on the skin. I was like, oh my God, no. And I think I also started on, I mean, I tried pig skin. I mean, back then, when I started, it was also 14 years ago. I mean, it was really, of course, there was on the market already some fake skins, but it was pretty difficult to get some. And I was like, okay, let's just try pig skin. But it was so disgusting. I was like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to do that. And I also started, I think like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after when I started to tattoo on people, but like with very tiny things and very simple things. But I was still like super nervous. Can you recall
yeah.
what was your first tattoo, what you were doing on a
Actually, my
person?
first tattoo, it's funny because it was on like on my friend, and also back then I was drawing like very detailed graphics, like with dot work and details like this. But the first tattoo that I made on human being was with color. It was like a head of a tiger in some like watercolor style with different colors, and I did it for 2 days. I think, yes, I think it wasn't one session, and it was very like tricky for me and difficult.
And how big was it actually? Like a hand sized
It was
or?
like this big, I think, on the hip.
Okay.
But for me,
Wow.
back then, it was very, very big.
Yeah, of course. And your master was standing next to you when you were
Yes, yes,
tattooing?
yes.
Okay, so it was like, okay, do this and that and a little bit of
Yeah,
help.
yeah,
But
yeah.
and you started with a coil machine or you started already with the newer, like I mean not the pen, but the rotary
Not the pen, of course, but actually, I don't even remember. I think it was a coil machine because it was
coil
like very,
machine.
very loud, very vibrating.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Then it's supposed to be a coil machine, yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And they are also very heavy comparing to rotaries and
Yeah,
the
I
pen.
don't
So
even imagine. I can't even imagine how do people do this with these coil machines now, especially now when
yeah,
we have like these light pens. So I don't know.
yeah. I mean, that was a big change also in the industry when this pen came. So I also remember, but I'm still having a collection of my old tattoo machines. Do you have your own? I mean, do you collect your own machines? I mean, have you had the first one?
No, I don't have it. It lays somewhere in my studio in Moscow. I don't know where. Maybe it's already sold to someone. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
when you have this
Yeah.
lifestyle that you constantly move to one place from one place to another, so I don't know where where my stuff is.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
And do you like moving so much? I mean, do you like being on a move and tattooing in different studios? I mean, it also has like an upside and downside, so that it's very interesting, I guess, to like check new studios out and new people. But don't you miss your family, or did you need to leave something behind? And is it difficult sometimes? So maybe you can talk about it a little bit.
Of course, I miss my family, but I don't want to go back to Moscow. So it's it was like my dream. So when I was starting as a tattoo artist, it was my dream. I imagined that I'm like going like from one place to another, meeting like new studios, new people, and that was my dream. And now it's like dream came true. So
Yeah.
basically, I love it, but it's like it goes well for not not longer than I say maybe 2.5, 3 months, because then you need like to rest. Then you need to go to some place that you call home. In my case, it's Bali, so you need to like stay for a while, recharge, and then you like can go on.
Nice. I mean, I always dream to go to Bali. Actually, I have never been.
You
It's
should
on
go.
my,
It's very
yeah,
beautiful there.
yeah. I mean, it's super nice. I saw some pictures, but how did you came to the idea that you want to move to Bali? It was also a dream, or it was like a place for you which represent recharge, and that's why, as you said, that you actually do 3 months of traveling and then go back recharging. So you was searching for a place which is resembling recharging, or why is it Bali for you?
Actually, it is kind of very interesting story, because it was because of my husband, but he wasn't my husband back then. So I was going to Europe. It was like so it was 2022, and I was going to get like European visa and go to Europe to work. And I didn't get the visa back then, but I got like a text in Instagram from like the profile that has one picture, some shelves, and that's it. And it said like, "You are doing very cool tattoos. Why don't you come to Bali?" And then we started talking, and then I came to Bali, and then I
Oh,
married him.
wow.
So
Crazy.
it's kind of like it pre-love, but cooler, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. That's interesting. So basically, he find you on Instagram and he
Yeah,
just
yeah,
randomly wrote you
yes,
that you're doing cool tattoos.
yes,
And he's also from Russia, or?
yes, he is.
Ah, also he just ended up as well on Bali. I mean, how cool is that? Really crazy. I haven't heard such a story. Yeah. And since when he is there? I mean, since a longer time
So
than.
he's a bit longer. He's like for 2 years and a half, something like that.
Okay. Okay. And you just fell in love with the island and then you just want to
Yes,
stay there.
yes.
Ah, I mean, I can totally imagine. Crazy. And he's always like joining to your trips, or sometimes he's
Yes,
staying in
yes,
Bali.
he's
He's
also
always joining.
always joining. Yes.
Okay. I wanted to go back to the beginning of your story. I don't know how your parents reacted actually when you said that I want
Oh,
to finish
yeah.
being a camera woman.
Parents reacted like parents usually do, I think, because when I started tattooing, they were like asking me constantly. Maybe you still would like to be a camera woman. Maybe you like you did some beautiful videos. Why shouldn't you like uh, do some more?
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but they like kind of accepted it.
Okay. So they were not like, no way, you're not going to do this. And they were kind of
No, they were
supporting
not
you a
like
little
that,
bit.
but
Mm.
they were like passive aggressive, something like this, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
But
then they accepted it. So
okay. So you have a good connection with them and they are supporting your lifestyle basically at
they're
the
like
moment.
not supporting it very much right now, because they don't understand why shouldn't I go back to Russia, but it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand. And but it's still cool that you're talking with them, and that in the
Yes.
beginning they were not like completely against it, because I also
Yes.
heard from some of my colleagues or pre-colleagues that there were like some cases that the parents said, okay, no way, you're not gonna do this, and then they need to separate their ways and then finding ways back to each other later in a few years. But that's all, that's cool that you you actually sorted it out. But it's also an interesting decision, I guess. I mean, I don't know how many people are thinking the same, you know, that they don't want to do a boring office job and they just want to, they have some creative veins and they want to
Oh,
actually express themselves.
I think there are a lot
Yeah,
of people like that.
yeah. And this is the reason why I actually thought that like this theme and this topic's gonna be good, because it's also an inspirational topic for the people, maybe get some strength of our stories, how we started. And what would you actually recommend for the people who are starting now? What do you think? Like, it's a big topic, I know, but maybe you have like a suggestion, like fast, what you think, like first from your experience, like because of social media and traveling or finding your own style.
I think the recommendation will be like very obvious and very basic, but I can't find like writer words. But just be yourself, just conquer your fear of everything, and you will like conquer the world. So don't hesitate. If you want something, just pursue your dreams. And I think that's it. It's too obvious and it's too like, I don't know, standard, but it is what it is.
No, actually, I mean, you're right. If you're in the comfort zone, you're not gonna get further. So if you stay there where you are, you're not gonna develop yourself. I totally agree with you on this.
Yes, and also I think like dream big also works.
Yeah, but it's also pretty difficult, right? When you say you're dreaming big. I mean, most of the artists, I think we have this inner setting, let's say, that we have like a bigger dream, because when you are just staying on the ground and you're just seeing what on the ground is like surrounding you, you're not gonna go higher and
Yeah,
you're not gonna
sure, sure.
achieve these things. I wanted to ask a little bit about your tattoo sessions. I don't know if you have any maybe ceremony before, how you are getting into, you know, when you're preparing, what kind of music you're listening, or how you prepare yourself actually for a full day project.
Actually, for now, maybe like some time ago, I needed some like ceremony. I needed some music. I needed some like, I don't know, some space, some food, some coffee. For now, it's like some coffee and I'm okay.
So it goes pretty easy. You don't have
Yeah,
anything like before. Okay, cool.
no, no.
That's, I mean, yeah, I mean, you have a lot of routine with starting always in a new place, so that you have yourself and you have your coffee, then it's.
Yeah, I think that's why, because you like I move a lot and I like it was pretty stressful some years ago when you like come to a new studio and you should like prepare all this workspace for you. But for now, I think I adjusted very quickly. So for now, it's like I'm in total calm. So just
That's
coffee and
amazing.
let's go. It's pretty easy for me right now.
That's really cool. I mean, and about the traveling, I wanted to ask really, that's really interesting also for people, for example, who actually right now starting as well with traveling and they want to just be like you, like a traveler tattoo artist. I mean, packing was a stressful like situation for you in the beginning, for example. I'm sure that there are like different countries, different rules, how you can travel with needles and colors, and or how do you sort it out? Like, are you afraid of that you're gonna lose your luggage and then you're gonna be like, oh, I mean, your machine probably it's in your hand baggage or something, but the rest of the things. So have you ever lost your package?
No, actually, like my husband and I, we are super also easy about this. So we have like one hand luggage, and that's it. We don't have any like luggage that that is checked, or I don't know how it's called, but
Oh,
I think it's checked luggage.
okay, yeah, yes, checked, yes.
So yes, I just have my machine in my hand luggage, and sometimes needles, but sometimes not, because all Asian studios provide needles. And it's a very good thing about Asian studios. I'm very grateful. So basically, that's it. I take my machine, and that's it.
Okay, and so you have everything in one
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
luggage, also your
One,
clothes
two
and
maximum.
everything.
So it's like
Crazy.
very easy for us. And I love it.
Okay.
So no stress
Yeah.
about packing, no stress about it all.
Yeah. So that's basically maybe would be your advice, that like keep it simple,
Yeah,
right? So
sure. It's like it's very helpful, I think.
yeah, I mean, I would be crazy if I would get my package lost somehow, you know. But yeah, that's a good tip. I mean, I also want to travel next year to some countries and different cities, and not in Germany. So thank you for the advice.
You
I'm
should check
absolutely gonna
Asian
take it.
studios, really, because there are a lot of cool studios in Asia and they provide everything and it's like very cool.
And I also really about Asian studios, I saw on your Instagram that you're actually like telling your opinion about the studios.
Yeah.
So reviewing, how did you come to this idea? I mean, it's pretty cool. I think you are
Yeah,
the first one I saw.
it's a very cool idea and it's my husband's idea. And
Ah,
I'm very
nice.
grateful for this because, yeah, it works very well. So when I started, like, I don't know, for now, I like have very good engaging communication when I post something about the studios. So it's like develops. So I think it was a very good idea of him.
And are you posting only good reviews, or also you're telling your
I'm
honest
telling the
opinion?
truth. Of course, I'm telling my honest opinion. Nobody is paying me for this, so just my honest opinion.
And are you not afraid that, for example, have you ever been in a studio which was like, you said like, okay, that's very bad. Did you stop working there and going to another place
No,
directly, or?
I think there wasn't studios like that. I I had some questions about studio in Vietnam, but I also read it in or texted it in the post about it. So that's it. No, I'm not
Okay.
afraid.
Yeah, because I mean, of course, you're telling the truth. Basically, you shouldn't be afraid anyway. But there are like, there's a lot of different people out there, and maybe some people take it on their hearts, you know, like studio owners, that if some person is not content with the studio. But actually, I think it's a really cool review. I mean, if artists are reviewing the studio, because then maybe the studios are checking like, there's a
Yeah,
spot
sure,
where
sure,
we are weak, and maybe we can adjust it a little bit,
sure. That's
make it better.
it's meant to help the tattoo artists and the studios as well. So I hope it helps everyone.
Yeah, and you never had like a negative comment from a studio in a message or something that you don't need to mention a studio name, but just like in general, since you're doing this, that they
No,
said, "Hey,
no,
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 that's nice,
no.
really nice." And these are studios mainly from Asia.
Mainly because I live in Asia now. So yes.
Yeah. Okay, it's a really nice thing to consider. I never saw something like this in Europe, actually. Okay, reviews from customers we're having, of course, on Google, but like when I went to your profile, I saw like reviewing studios, and I was like, oh wow,
Yeah,
what a cool
my
idea.
husband has a lot of bright ideas. So
That's cool. And is he helping also creating content for you,
yeah.
or you are
He's helping very well. So he, as I told you, that he writes. So he helps to write me some texts for my posts, and also he's like he has. I don't know how to say. He has a good ear for music, maybe because I ask him always to choose music for reels. So and he has like very good ear for that. I don't know.
and how you're managing your work life and private life. So basically, he's helping you to pick music and texts and stuff. But do you have like another assistant as well that he helping in your schedule, or you're doing all by yourself and he's doing like the suggestions and the ideas?
For now, I'm doing all by myself, and my husband helps. But I'm thinking about searching for a like assistant. Or for now, I'm thinking about like searching for someone who will make reels because we like understood recently that we know nothing about reels right now because it develops so fast and you should like check every time, but we are already too old for for it, I think. So for
Yeah.
now I'm really thinking about hiring someone that will make cool videos and cool reels. I
So
love
like,
to cut and edit myself, so but I understand that I like know nothing about like new Instagram algorithms, so it's better to find someone
to
that
have someone.
understands, yeah, understand.
So you're planning to find a videographer, or you're planning to find a social media manager?
I think someone who edit videos.
Okay.
Reels
Yeah,
maker, I think.
And you're still promoting yourself, or I mean, as I think I remember maybe correctly that you said that you stopped promoting yourself
I
after a
stopped
while,
promoting
right?
myself because recently I tried to promote myself in Bali, but there was there is no people came from this ads, so I stopped it.
Okay. And what is your opinion about hashtags and all of these things? Like, do you do hashtags, or you just post your picture,
I
do a little
do
capture, and
hashtags and I didn't check for a while. I still do it, but I didn't check if they work. But I know that they worked for sure. 2 years ago, they worked. There were a lot of people coming from hashtags in Bali. For now,
so
I
you
don't
were like
know.
hashtagging Bali and
Yeah,
Bali
something
tattoo
like
or
this.
something like this?
Bali tattoo, something like this. And also, surprisingly, Pinterest works very well. So
Pinterest.
I
Okay.
connected my Instagram profile to Pinterest, and there are a lot of people coming from Pinterest right now.
Oh, nice. I haven't heard of that
Yeah,
actually.
you should
So
try.
it's
It
also a good
works.
idea. Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's also a good idea for other people because I mean, I'm just, of course, everyone is using Pinterest as well, but
Yeah.
for inspirational pictures and not like connecting profile. I mean, once I started, I think like a few years ago, but I was like, okay, yeah, it's a little bit tiring on being on TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah, sure.
and
It's very
YouTube and everything, you know. So I was like, I totally understand when you need also someone who is actually doing proper videos. I mean, I am trying my partner, he's doing videos for me, so mainly, or we are filming each other with the artist in the studio. But I also, like you, I like cutting it and editing stuff. But sometimes like time is so valuable and it's just like it goes so fast and you
yeah.
have to focus on doing your appointments, talking with the customer, tattooing, editing, how you're dealing with this, how you can manage everything. I mean, do you have any solution, or you just like sometimes laying back and say, okay, it's enough, and then you start again?
Yeah, sometimes like this, and also, but I love doing all the things. I love tattooing. I love taking pictures after. I love taking videos. Not like very, not every time, because sometimes you have like full body projects and you doing videos and
Intim.
photos, like with shaking hands and something like this.
Yes, yes.
But when you not tired, not too tired, I really like take pictures and take videos, and then coming home and checking all these pictures and editing
Editing.
some. So yeah.
Can we say that's your favorite part of the project, or your favorite part is the planning?
I don't know. I think the whole part, all parts are my favorite. I can't choose one.
That's nice. Yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, for me, I also really enjoy everything. If you would ask me, I would be like, I'm not sure actually what would I say. And recently, I guess you don't have any customers' requests which are not relating to your work, what you're doing, right? So you have always these line art requests,
Yeah, sure,
or do
sure,
you? Yeah.
sure. It's
And in the past, it was different.
uh, I don't know. It was like very long ago when I had requests that are not in my style, so I did my style only for quite some time.
I think that would be one of our last questions. That how did you find this style? Like, how did you recognize? Okay, I love tattooing; it's my passion, and this is the style what I want to do.
That's an interesting question because, as I told you, I started with very detailed graphics with dot work and some kind of these details, and I don't actually remember how I switched to the very minimalistic tattoos, but I also did some mini tattoos, but in minimalistic style, so with the lines, and also one thick and one thin line, the same as I do now. And then I had two requests in about the same time. The one was from a girl. She wanted some writing on her shoulder, and she wanted it to be a line, then writing, then also a line. And I liked that idea very much. And the placement was the shoulder and line was going up to the neck, but she she preferred to stop in the middle of the neck, and it quite bothered me. I don't know, because I suggested her to go like higher and end the line like near the ear, because it looked like it looked unfinished when the line was like in the middle of the neck. But she was scared, so we left it like this. And then I started drawing like available projects, available designs, with the line goes like up to the neck and ends somewhere on the ear. And other request was also about a line that somehow becomes the abstract flower, and then that's where my abstract flowers came from, I think. So it was in approximately the same time. So then I started drawing available projects, available designs with these like lines and abstract flowers.
Okay. So basically, this was also via a request from a customer when you realized that, oh, I love this style, I want to do this. And then you just continuously created, I guess, wanna-dos and flashes in this style. And then you just got requested more and more. And then you just say, okay, that's my style, right?
Yeah,
so this
exactly.
is how it went.
And actually also very interesting, because I got a lot of questions like, where did these lines came from? And recently I also had one request from a girl. She wanted to do some like abstract branches kind of tree. And that it like hit me, because when I was like drawing, when I wasn't a tattoo artist, I loved drawing branches and I loved drawing trees very much. And now I understood that these lines, I think they came from these like branches, these trees that I love to draw. So it's connected for sure.
I really love your tattoos, and when I
Thanks so
saw
much.
it, and when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, I would be so happy that if you would just like come for a guest and like let us know a little bit of insight, how you started and how you get inspired and all of these. Because of the inspiration, you just mentioned these three. Do you have any other inspiration? What can influence you in the meantime? Music, environment?
I think I can find inspiration in very simple things, and it can be like anything. The light, the music, like, I don't know, some beautiful location. So I get inspiration from very simple things everywhere.
And it's just like a feeling, what you see. For example, you see a light and you're like, oh, that's a feeling. And then you create these lines, or how it's working for you?
I think like you get this inspiration, you like absorb it, and then you use it when you start working. I think it works like this.
Like
for me.
this. Okay. And you have a schedule when you are doing one of those, working on designs for yourself and for the customers, or you just like doing everything by feeling?
I think I do everything by feeling, and recently I noticed that I started doing less these available projects, available concepts, because it's easier for me to do it freehand, and because it really depends on the person. It really depends on the person and on their body. So I like this more than doing like I don't
Concepts.
know, the faceless projects for I
I
don't know
see.
who.
I see. And because you need to, I mean, your tattoo is like very specific, so it has to fit to the body part.
Yes, yes.
And
It needs a
and
character. It needs a person.
yeah.
So it works like this.
So basically, you don't have designs at the moment. You just like book a session with me, which is like freehand, and we're just gonna talk and
Yeah.
let the line drive us.
Yeah,
Let's
and
say
there is when magic happens.
magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here and answering all of these questions. And
Thank you so much for inviting me.
I appreciate all of the answers, and I think all of the other people who were listening to this podcast probably get some inspiration from you.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for being the first guest in the podcast.
Thank
I
you.
really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
making me the first guest. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you for watching today's episode. It was our first one with Soul Strokes, the Tattoo podcast. If you want to be sure you're not going to miss out the next episodes with the amazing artists, you need to only hit the subscribe button on YouTube and follow us up on our Instagram page. I would be glad if you can leave us a comment. What's your opinion of the first episode? What we could do better, if you have any suggestions. I hope you enjoyed the rest. Stay inspired and see you on the next one.